What's up? What's up? What's up? Straight to the point. Night driving now. Um, be sure to hit that like and sub to the channel if you're not a member, and hit them notifications too. I wanted to go ahead and talk about what's about to transpire in this second half of the season, man. Now that the All-Star break is pretty much out of the way, now we can go ahead and we can start looking forward to what's about to take place. Um, Listen, there's going to be a lot of surprises, man. Listen, let me start off by saying this. One of the teams that I feel like has a chance to come out of the East that a lot of people are really not talking about. I mean, they're talking about them in terms of how well they've been playing and everything, but they're still not taking them that serious. Is the Detroit Pistons. Now, I know some people gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but the Detroit Pistons actually have a chance to knock off one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. I know some people think I'm crazy for saying that, but the Detroit Pistons, man, have shown that they are a team that if you get in a closely contested battle with them, you're not guaranteed to win that game. You're not guaranteed to win that game. And the thing you gotta like about Detroit is the fact that they're a young team, but there's a lot of guys on there that have been through adversity and they've been battle tested. And of course, you gotta love the emergence of Cade Cunningham. Hey, what's up with it? I know y'all can't see me, but listen, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I can't keep this light on though. But you have the emergence of, and please hit the like when you come in here, y'all. Hit that like when y'all come in here. You got the emergence of Cade Cunningham. You got Beasley. You got Duran. Hey, how you doing? You got some young guys on there. How you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, I appreciate it. Appreciate you, Gonzalez. Thank you for your sub. But please hit that like when you come in here, though. Hit that like. It don't cost anything. Please hit the like when you come in here. What is this guy doing? This guy's slowing people up. But Cade Cunningham is really making his presence felt. He's showing that he is a leader. And then they're getting Ivy back. That's the thing. That's another thing. So as soon as they get Ivy back, and I know it's probably going to take Ivy a minute to get accustomed to everything. I really feel like Detroit can at least make it I would say to the Eastern Conference semi, if not the Eastern Conference Finals. But I know that's kind of pushing it. But the reason why I'm mentioning Detroit is because anybody who plays them, they're going to be under pressure. They're going to be the ones that are going to be under pressure because it's like, oh wow, we got to play these young guys. We don't want to get knocked off by these young guys, especially if they happen to run into like a Boston or even in New York. If they run into New York, of course the Bucks, those teams are going to be under pressure. And I always talk about pressure. I always talk about pressure when it comes to these type of situations because that's one of the things that I was saying about the Houston Rockets. That's one of the things that I was saying about even the teams. Those teams aren't really under that enormous amount of pressure because they really haven't. They really don't. They haven't been to the top and haven't experienced winning championships or anything like that. So they still have to grow and they still gotta mature. And those guys are still young in the sense of they're still learning the game and everything. But I really do feel like Detroit, man, they definitely got it. Man, they got a good chance to make their presence felt. Like I said, man, at first I was kind of like, yeah, they're gonna come out the East, but I'm gonna hold my horses on that. Now, another team that a lot of people are sitting up here saying that is gonna progress and gonna win and all this other stuff is New York. Now, while I do like the fact that Knicks basketball is back, the Garden is back, this, that, and the third. The thing you got to wonder about New York is their defense. OG is supposed to be coming back. OG, Nunna Boy, he's supposed to be coming back pretty soon, right after the All-Star break or whatnot. Hopefully that does something to their defense. But the thing that I'm worrying about is not only Tibbs. There was one point in time when I wasn't worried about Tibbs, but now I'm really starting to see after all these years. I can't believe what people are talking about when it comes to Coach Tom Thibodeau. Now, I wasn't too worried about Tom Thibodeau in the beginning in terms of, his coaching style and, how they say, he runs players to the ground and all this other stuff or whatnot. I wasn't worried about that in the beginning, but now I'm starting to see it, especially when we talk about the playoffs, because if we're being honest, New York defensively has not been good. They allowed 148 points or something like that. Like I think the last game that they played, I think it was against the Hawks if I'm not mistaken, but they're not as good as a defensive team that we're accustomed to seeing from a Coach Tibbs team. And that's saying a lot too, because I know Cat is capable of being a solid defender, man. That's the thing about Karl Anthony Towns too. I want to focus on Karl Anthony Towns because Karl Anthony Towns, man, he's done phenomenal this season and everything, but Karl Anthony Towns always does that. But then when it comes to the playoffs or whatever, then you see him freezing up. Now he'll have some good games and stuff like that, but when he played against Dallas or whatever, he He was null and void. You couldn't even find him, man. You know, you just could not find him. And I don't want that to happen with Karl Anthony Towns, but I think it's destined to happen. Jalen Brunson, he gonna get his. Jalen Brunson is he's gonna get his buckets. He's gonna manage the game well. He's gonna do his. What's up, Cheyenne? I'll see you in the building, man. Here on the late night tip. You know, Jalen Brunson is gonna do. He's gonna listen. People can talk about Karl Anthony Towns all they want to, but if you don't have these guys on here, if you don't have Josh Hart, okay, yes, I said it, Josh Hart. Everybody gonna say, oh yeah, if you don't have Karl Anthony Towns, if you don't have Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, and Mikal Bridges on that team, I don't think that they're gonna go that far because Josh Hart, two-way player. Mikal Bridges, two-way player. Jalen Brunson can set the table and also get his at the same time. Solid defensively too as well. And then, of course, you have Cat, but you got to worry about Cat. Yes, Cat is in Madison Square Garden, and maybe it can help him. Maybe that will help Cat be like, you know what? Hey, this is a different type of energy that I was used to as opposed to being in Minnesota with the Mall of America. Maybe that will amplify him to play a little bit better and do the unthinkable and actually maybe get to the finals. But I just don't see that happening. I think New York is probably going to be maybe second round, man. Second round at the most, you know. Cleveland. I don't know about Cleveland. I'm starting to lean their way a little bit. I like what I'm seeing from Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley, man, and Jared Allen, who I felt like Jared Allen got robbed of an all-star spot. That's just me. I felt like he should have been an all-star, but that's a whole nother story. I still think Cleveland. I don't know about Cleveland either. Because here's the thing that you got to worry about Cleveland. You got to worry about Donovan Mitchell, as I've said time and time again. You got to worry about Donovan Mitchell, man. If Donovan Mitchell don't have a good game, come on, man. You see, I'm trying to get in. Come on. What'd you say, Cheyenne? You said, that dude got his brights on. We'll face Eastern Conference on that. Oh, okay. Well, so you got Cleveland and you got Boston. I'm gonna be real. I don't see Boston being back in there, Cheyenne. I don't think Boston's really not. They're not as strong as what you think. Listen, like, I know this is gonna sound crazy, Cheyenne, what I'm about to say, but I think if Boston gets into a battle with Detroit, I think Detroit can shock them. I think they really could. And honestly, I think that would be really good, man, if they did that. I think Detroit, if they get into if they get into like a really deep battle with Cleveland, I feel like Cleveland could ultimately lose because, like I said, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Cleveland too, man. Like we talk about all this pressure that Boston got. Cleveland got a lot of pressure on them because it's like, okay, you're supposed to be top two team in the NBA. Between you and OKC, we're expecting you to get it done. We're expecting you to get a chip. So that's the way that I'm looking at it as. The Bucks. I like the way that the Bucks have been playing. They're giving people a new look. I thought it was a good move. A lot of people don't feel like it was a good move. I felt like it was a good move having what's his name on there, Kyle Kuzma on there. I don't think Kyle Kuzma gets enough credit. People got to understand that Kyle Kuzma, he is a champion. And he was a big part of that championship team when he played for the Lakers. Oh snap! Okay, my fault, y'all. I'm going to another place. I don't even know. You said the only way I see Detroit. Uh, oh nah. Cheyenne, have you been paying attention? Have you been paying attention to Detroit? Detroit is for real, Cheyenne. Detroit is for real. This ain't the same Detroit team. I keep trying to tell people, man. Detroit is for real, man. Detroit is for real. Come on. What's up, Angela Bell? I see you in the building, man. How you feeling, man? What's going down? Nah, hey, Cheyenne, Detroit is for real, man. They're not like you gotta look at them like how you used to look at, like Orlando. Like Orlando surprised everybody, but I was never surprised by Orlando because I've been telling people about Orlando. You gotta look at that. I look at Detroit like how I looked at Orlando last season. You know, no pain. What's up? You said, sorry, I'm not even in the light, man. Earlier I was in the light, but you said chilling, getting ready for this snowstorm. Yeah, it's about to be what 19 degrees. It's gonna be 19 degrees tomorrow. Tomorrow night it's gonna be 19 degrees. But okay, Detroit. Now you saying? Let me go back to this. You said the only way I see Detroit beating Boston if Ivy. Well, Ivy is coming back. That's another thing too. I meant to say that. That's what I wanted to talk about. Ivy is coming back, Cheyenne. Ivy is going to be back. He's going to be back, and, and they've been winning without Ivy. That's the thing. They've been winning without Ivy. That's what's even more scarier is the fact that they've been winning without Ivy. So when they get Ivy back, they're gonna go. They're gonna go. They could go on that run that they went on, especially in the beginning of the season. Here's the thing: the reason why Detroit is my sleeper is because they don't really have no pressure on them. What pressure do they have on them? They're gonna come back a year better. You said Detroit is my dog. Yeah, like I got Detroit beating. Like I don't think people understand. Cheyenne, you understand this? Detroit is in the sixth spot, and I know that sounds crazy, but last year, nobody was looking at it. I saw a little bit. You could kind of see. You saw Detroit always had the talent. That's the thing. They had the talent. It was just they needed the proper guidance. Not to take anything away from Monty Williams. I like Monty Williams as a coach or whatever, but I don't think that the players were buying into what he was selling. And then Trajan Langdon took over. He took over, and he's done phenomenal in that front office. So like I gotta give credit to the Detroit front office. They have really made some significant changes that has affected them. Out um, when it comes to on the bench. And when it comes to coaching, and there's also been a kind of a culture shift too. You said Detroit got a history of upsetting the big market teams since the late '80s. Uh, I won't be surprised. Yeah, exactly. And I like all these shockers. Look, man, everybody wants all this, predictability going on and stuff like that. I don't want predictability. I want parity. That's what I want. Um, but coming out of the East, I think that's it's going to get real ugly in the East. Now, the West. Let me talk about the West. Now, okay, I want to see Golden State. I want to see Golden State up against, like I said, um, the more superior teams, some more superior teams. I know that they're 3-1, but I still need to see more. Now, I'm not saying that they got to go on like a 6-game winning streak or no shit like that, because I would like to see them get battle tested. Like when we talk about the Warriors, and the reason why I say the Warriors is because Draymond Green came out. He was telling guys, okay, hey, look, you know, um, we're gonna win the championship, that sort of thing. Well, since you say that, people are expecting that. People are expecting that. People are holding expectations on that. You said the West 50-50 is it's a pick 'em. I mean, what like OKC is still my pick. Okay, it could change. It could change, but OKC for right now, they're still my pick. They're still my pick to win everything. Like I said, and the only team I can see right now that possibly had a shot of knocking them off as of late, it's been Denver. Now you got to worry about the Clippers. The Clippers with That's another thing too. The Clippers with Ben Simmons, you got to worry about that. Now if Ben Simmons is playing the way that he plays, and he's getting like 14 points, getting like 8 rebounds, playing like that all-star, like we are accustomed to seeing from Ben Simmons. Don't really even need him to shoot or anything like that, but he's coming in and he's being a lockdown defender, the Clippers can be dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that they're gonna come out of the West, but they can be a dangerous team. Denver, you always got to watch out for Denver. I think that Denver, man, Denver is trying to get back to the championship. That's the way that they're playing right now. That Jokic, he's always gonna keep quiet, buckle down, and everything. But I still got SGA in them. SGA still got a lot of animosity about what happened in that Dallas series last season. Um, Minnesota, I don't know. I don't know about Minnesota. I honestly don't know about Minnesota. Ant-Man seems to, he seems to be getting used to, what's going on and stuff. He went on a tear as of late. I mean, he put up like 50 something. What's up with it, Brown Sugar? How you doing, sweetie? You said I like the Clippers, but they got to stay healthy. Yeah, they do. They got to stay healthy. Listen, my thing about the Clippers, man, is you know Harden is always going. He's going to do his thing. Um, then what's it called? Of course they got Kawhi. They got Kawhi. You said it's going to be some good playoff matchup. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think so. But the Clippers, you do got to watch out for them. I like adding Ben Simmons to me was a real. It was a game changer. I think it was a game changer, man. Adding Ben Simmons, that was a game changer. Um, Let me see, because I've already talked about OKC. Now the Lakers. I don't know. It's kind of tricky, man, because what if the Lakers actually benefit from the ball that they're playing? That's what I think about the Lakers. I know everybody thinking, oh yeah, the Lakers are gonna win the championship and stuff like that, but it's just a matter of time before we start seeing, the I guess you could say the kind of the friction between Luca and LeBron. What's up? What's up, Gonzalez? But I don't see the Lakers. I can see the Lakers possibly getting out maybe the second round. Might be even a first round exit. But I got to see the Lakers. They lost to the Jazz, and Luca and LeBron, they still got to figure things out. Um, Phoenix, I don't see Phoenix going nowhere. Now, this is another thing too. I want to say this too. I think that the Spurs, the Spurs can go on a late run. You said if the Lakers face Denver, they could. Yeah, because they pretty much got their number. I mean, their size, especially Denver's size. Jackson Hayes. They're not. All them guys. Oh boy, did they just sign from Sacramento? They're not going to be able to keep up with the likes of Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Bowen. Then you got Murray, who's been balling out of his mind. And that's another thing, man. I don't understand why Murray has not been an All Star yet, man. They should have made Jamal Murray an All Star a long ass time ago, man. He had a case the past two seasons. Well, I think the season before last he was hurt, but I know last season for sure, and especially that championship season. Yeah, the past two seasons, Jamal Murray should have been an All Star. But yeah, you got to worry about Denver, man, all the time. Now the question is will they be able to win that championship, a second one? Um, who else? But this is what I was about to say. I think that the Spurs are gonna make a push. I really feel like the Spurs are gonna make a push. Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. I don't know. That's my gut feeling. I'm not now. H Town. You always got to worry about the Rockets, man. Like it is something about. I watched Thompson this weekend, especially a man Thompson. Man, I know some people gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but Thompson makes like he got good feel for the game. I know I talked about Jalen Green, you know what I'm saying, which is the obvious and everything, but it is something about them Thompson boys, man. Like they they got weapons in H Town, but we'll see. We'll see about H Town. I know they went on like a little skid where they were losing, but Houston is always a threat. And I said the only team that could knock off OKC, it would have been Houston, but now that's kind of changing. That's kind of changing. But it's still right now. It's still OKC. I got OKC. They're now. I would have chose Dallas, but the only thing with Dallas is everybody is hurt over there. They got all their big men out. All of their big men are out, and so that's gonna be something to pay attention to. I don't now. Kyrie has been balling though. He's like in what's the name? Jason Kidd. He's been coaching out of his mind. Kyrie has been balling out of his mind. Jason Kidd has been coaching out of his mind. He's been really reaching into his bag, um, making his presence felt, which is what a good coach is supposed to do. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to think of who else am I missing. Memphis. That's another. Memphis. You got to watch out for Memphis. The Pull Up Podcast is in the building. What's up with it, BJ? I see you in there. Salute to you, bro. You said Dallas is dangerous. Really have no weakness on their roster. Shooters, scorers. Yeah, they gotta stay healthy though. Listen, BJ. They got Gafford out. Um, I want to say Gafford is out for what 8 weeks. Lively was out for like 4 weeks. You got AD out for a month. Powell, he stay on IR. You know what I'm saying? And then here's another thing that you got to look out for too, BJ. This is another thing to pay attention to. Kyrie is hurt too, man. Now he's playing hurt. Go look it up, man. I'm not talking about you, pull up, but everybody else, go look it up. Kyrie has been playing with a bulging disc in his back, and on top of that, he's having shoulder issues, and he's still putting up 42. So that's something to look at too. Now, I will say this, BJ, you brought up a good point. Max Christie is somebody I've been talking about for I don't know how long. I started paying attention to Max Christie when he played that lockdown defense on Ja Morant. When that's when I knew Max Christie, and Max Christie is one of the guys. He put up 23 just this last game, I think, right before the break. Said, okay, see, I think they can lose to us. The Warriors, Mavs, Nuggets. Yes, and the Mavs got to stay healthy, but they're stacked. We got to see, man. But see, a lot of them guys, man, they can't really get in the trenches. Like I could see Max Christie playing and just playing without a care, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen with the Clippers beating OKC. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that, BJ, man, because you got to think. I think about not only SGA, but I think about Harkison, who, of course, he's gonna be back, and then they got Chet back. Chet, Chet, that's your rebounding, that's your shot blocking, that's your toughness, that's some of your scoring. Okay, now when it comes to the Warriors, I I worry about the Warriors. Okay, um, I worry about the Warriors. I think with Draymond saying what he said, pull up, and shout out to you too, pull up. I shouted you out earlier because you were talking about what I was talking about too, about Draymond um, guaranteeing the championship. Now everybody's going to they're going to be aiming. They got a bullseye on their back. You know what I'm saying? So you, the Warriors, I kind of worry about, and I think OKC they not having that, and then the Nuggets. I think out of all of them, but see, I'm surprised you didn't say the Rockets though. I'm shocked you didn't mention the Rockets. Like I would have put the Rockets in before I put the Mavs. I would have put the Rockets in before I put the Mavs, simply because you got to worry about the Thompsons. Now, they have shown their youth and their inexperience over the I would say in these losing streaks and stuff. They've shown kind of their youth a little bit. But I look for Ime Udoka to get these guys to shift their focus going into the second half of the season. But yeah, it is kind of a toss up in the West. But I got OKC. I'm gonna look at a few games before I make like a solid prediction. But I do got OKC in the Western Conference Finals. But I don't know against who. I don't know against who, man. It's hard to tell right now. Initially, I would have said Dallas with the addition of AD, but it doesn't look that way. It doesn't look that way. And here's the thing, guys like Gafford and PJ Washington, Lively, all them, they're just as important as AD is. You said Rockets and OKC are both the same. SGA is the reason I put them over the Rockets. Both are well coached. Yeah, and they got so many weapons. Honestly, I'm gonna say this, BJ. I think that the Rockets got like at least like I said before. You remember that team like a few years ago where they had Donovan Mitchell, they had Mike Conley Jr., they had what you call Joe Ingles, of course Rudy Gobert. Um, they had old boy that plays for them now, and he's still over there. Used to play for the Lakers. I always forget his name, man. But Clarkson. They had Clarkson. They had like seven guys on that roster that that was averaging in double figures. This is what Houston is doing. That's what Houston got. They got the Thompson brothers. They got Jalen Green. They got Sagoon. They got Derrick Brooks. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they got niggas that be able to light you up off that bench. You know what I'm saying? They got Fred VanVleet. You know what I mean? Like, Rockets is really, and like I said, they don't have no pressure on them either. You know why? Because the Rockets only gonna get better. They gonna be a year better. That's the reason why I was talking about with Detroit. Detroit and the Rockets, they remind me of each other in the sense that they have bounced back. Their organizations have bounced back from where they were accustomed to being at, which is somewhere at the bottom. I don't want to face the Rockets because their defense, especially how they bother Harden, we would have to use our experience. Mavs and Rockets would be tough series. Yeah, Harden. I don't know, BJ, man. It's like Harden, man. Every playoffs, man, he'll do good in the regular season, but then come the playoffs. There you go, man. It's like, damn. It's like clockwork. It's like you already expect, you know what to expect from Harden. He gonna be a playoff choker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we gonna get on Paul George about him choking at time, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs and stuff like that, got to get on Harden. Got to get on Harden. Missing 27 straight. Yeah, diabolical. Yeah, that diabolical work. Yeah, man, like Harden, you've been in the league long enough now. I wouldn't even, you know what? Honestly, BJ and Shyam, I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't even make Harden the main guy really, the go to really. At this point, I know y'all gonna trip out when I say this. Norman Powell is the guy that's gonna get you buckets. Norman Powell is the guy that I want having the rock in the fourth quarter, BJ. And then you got Ben Simmons, man. Listen, a Ben Simmons that's focused, a Ben Simmons that's gonna play lockdown defense, a Ben Simmons that is gonna, like, you see how he could get to the rack easy. Like, I don't know, Ben Simmons has a gift, man. He's able to find little spots to where, damn, how did he get there? It's like with the back door that he had. Of course, they weren't playing anybody. They were playing against Utah, but I mean, even still, it's still the NBA. You said I wanted to keep PG over Harden. Yes, Norm has been consistent for us. I could see Ben taking Harden's spot as our point guard. Yeah, exactly, man. But nah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Oh man, honestly, and I talked about. I think Cypress TV. He had mentioned this too. Shout out to Cypress, man. He mentioned this. Ben Simmons, I would still put him in the front court, but he could. It's not like he can't go coast to coast. It's not like he can't handle the right. Do what Jokic do. You know what I'm saying? Do what what's his name? Do what Victor Wembanyama does. You could put him at the big. You could put him in power forward. You could put him at the small forward. It don't just because basketball is positionless. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'll put Ben Simmons anywhere and just let him do what he do because we are one thing for certain and two things for sure. Okay? Ben Simmons is going to defend. Okay? He's going to defend. Now you said that. Let me say this. You said Paul George right now, man. I'm looking at Paul George right now. Pull up, man, and I'm looking at Paul George, bro, right now, and I'm saying to myself, yo, Paul George needs to just go ahead and call it quit, man. He need to call it quit, man. He's not motivated. You said choose the point forward. He can, yeah, he can literally do everything, man. Listen, BJ, I always said this, man. Ben Simmons with a jumper, that stop and pop, man, because he's hella athletic. But I've never seen somebody get to the and he don't. The thing about it, Ben Simmons, I'm talking about when he first got to the league. Ben Simmons wasn't forcing his way to the rack. Like, he would get there, and one minute he'll be at the top of the key, then the next minute that motherfucker there, and then sometimes pull up, he wouldn't even. Ben Simmons wouldn't even shoot the rock. You know what I'm saying? Or he'll have a layup and he'll pass the rock. We like, motherfucker, just go ahead and dunk that. Do you? Like, sometimes I don't even think like Ben Simmons realized this motherfucker is 6'11". Like, that's what I be talking about. So, and he get to the rack so easy. And then on top of that, you got to realize, man, he was all NBA defense. So you know he gonna defend. So y'all got to y'all did a chess move with having Ben Simmons, especially coming off the bench too. You definitely gonna be cooking with some grease, man. Definitely. Um, but yeah, man. We'll see, man. It's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get real interesting. All these moves that everybody's making. Sacramento, I'll put them in the same boat as Phoenix. You said PG literally balling for you before he hurt his hand problem. Embiid comes in and out. PG and Maxey have had great performances. He will be fine. This next game, he averaged 16 points. Man, listen, bro. BJ, bro. It's over with for Paul George, man. This dude had 2 points in 37 minutes, man. And look, I get that he didn't want to come to this situation. He didn't want to come to this situation. Now that's what I was telling a couple people. Paul George was not like him, signing that 4 year 212. He was coming here expecting to have these guys there, to be that complimentary player for both Maxey and Embiid. But now he's coming into a situation now. He did have the hyperextension. He hyperextended twice, but he came into a situation where it's kind of like, well, damn, you got Embiid, who don't know if he want to play, don't know if he healthy, don't know if he unhealthy, don't know if he even wants to play in the regular season or want to play in the preseason, but you could play in last season's playoffs, and you can also play in the Olympics, in which you didn't seem to have anything wrong with you as much as you were sitting up in there trying to dazzle people about a game that really didn't even really even matter. I mean, it mattered to the country and stuff. But when we talk about you doing your thing against Jokic, well, how come you can't do that here in the U.S.? Okay, but anyways, you got that. And then on top of that, they hadn't had that much time together in the lineup either, BJ. You got to think about it, man. They only played between all of them. I think they only played like 20. Not even that. They haven't. I'm trying to think of how many games they played altogether. They have not played. I'm talking about with Paul George, Embiid, and Maxey on the floor. They have not played. I think they played like maybe 16 games, I think it was. I might be off. But he's a complimentary player. But Paul George, man, like, I just think he walked into and then I look at his body language sometimes. BJ, man. And it's like he looks so unmotivated. Like a part of him is like, damn, why did I come here? At least with the Clippers, he looks somewhat motivated. You know what I'm saying? Like he's coming over here, BJ. He's like, damn, why did I come to this situation? I didn't come here for this shit. At least with the Clippers, he was in a winning situation. With the Clippers, he was in a winning situation. We are on the verge of not making the playoffs, and so much so that people are automatically saying we might as well just go ahead and tank. That's what we're at, because then on top of that, BJ, you gotta worry about this. Listen, I'm just waiting for it. Embiid is gonna be like, look, he gonna need surgery. He gonna need surgery. Like it's like what KG and Paul Pierce said. They had told him. They told Embiid, shut it down. I agree with that. But when I say shut it down, my shut it down is different. My shut it down is, shut it down for good. Go ahead and retire. You said right. Would you be motivated with the BS that's over there? You said he's not washed at all. Well, he's going to have to show me more, BJ. I mean, it's not like Paul George is old, but, I mean, come on, man. 2 points, bro. 2 points in 37 minutes, man. There's no excuses for that. Paul George is known for being an all-star level player, an MVP level player, future Hall of Famer. This is a guy, man, that he was, I think he was second or third with OKC in MVP voting. Paul George, we're accustomed to seeing him play both ends of the floor, putting up lights out numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, slashing, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then to come here and only 2 points, 37 minutes. Like, man, and look, I get it too. I would be frustrated too. Like now at this point, man, if I'm Paul George, and I was gonna say this too, BJ, I was considering, in my mind, I was like, why don't we just go ahead and move him now? The problem is it's coming off of that contract though. That's the only thing, and then on top of that, he's got a max deal, so that's not gonna be easy. But we have made that move. We got Grimes over there, but I'm like, man, we need to just go ahead and just overhaul, just get rid of some of these guys. And then on top of that, man, he's not getting any younger, man. He's not getting any younger, man. He don't his I'm sorry to say, BJ, and this might hurt y'all feelings, man. Paul George's best days are behind him. Embiid, he can't even run baseline to baseline no more. You said PG just got out there getting a check. Yeah, 2 points. Yeah, but see, he's not motivated. But I can't say that though because when he was out there with BJ and them, when he was out there with the Clippers, at least that motherfucker was playing power forward like what Jimmy Butler's doing now. That's what Paul George was doing. He was playing out of position. He was playing in the playoffs. Now, true enough, man, he shot a horrible percentage when he was in the playoffs, but they was in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs, man. They were competing for something. And although, they didn't have Kawhi, I mean, he had Harden and of course he had Westbrook. And so into consideration, it's going to be more motivation. And on top of that, the Clippers were trying to get, they got a little rivalry going. You know what I'm saying? Like, Clippers versus Luka versus Clippers, and Mavs versus Clippers versus Mavs. You know, but he was more motivated. Now it's like he don't want to blame. And listen, man, I hate to prove BJ right in this sense, but how can you blame Paul George for feeling the way that he feeling, man? Like, I'm like, damn, I didn't come, dog, man. Embiid was supposed to be ready to go. You said Nick Nurse needs to start using his talent and stop undervaluating him as a third option. We didn't have as a third option. He was a clear cut second. Well, it's hard to beat. Listen, man. Right now, because listen, look at it like this, right, BJ? We're in disarray right now. You got Embiid. He comes back, right, and he starts fussing at Oubre, right? I give props to Oubre. He telling Oubre, to get back on defense. I be like, nigga, your ass hasn't been playing. So I'm like, and Embiid is messing up. Like, how the hell you gonna get on Oubre? And Oubre is actually one of our better defenders on the team and stuff. So what I'm saying is like everything's in disarray. I'm not gonna get on Nick Nurse. I'm gonna tell you where the problem lies. It all falls on Daryl Morey. It all falls on the owner. He's so worried about the Washington Commanders. That's because he owns that team too. He not worried about what's going on with the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm like, look, go ahead, get Daryl Morey's ass out of there, get Bob Myers. I guarantee you, BJ, if Bob Myers was in there, he would clean that shit up immediately. He gonna say, okay, Embiid, he gonna pull him in there. What you want to do? Okay. Hell, I'm gonna be real with you. If Embiid was like, tradable during that time when the trades was going on, because he can't be traded because of his contract and everything. Shit, I'd have moved his ass in the middle of the night like they did Luka. Now that's where you need a Nico Harrison. You know what I'm saying? That's when you need that dude Dumont, the owner for the Dallas Mavs. That's where you need. They should have did that shit to Embiid, because Embiid ain't getting nobody to no finals. Embiid ain't out here playing more than 60 some odd games. Luka is, and Luka, he might get hurt. That motherfucker might come in there, out of shape and all this other stuff, but he's getting the Western Conference Finals. Embiid can't get out the second round. He get in the finals. Embiid can't get out the second round. Yeah. Listen, man. I was happy that Oubre did. I'll be like, man, get your ass out. Man, Embiid can't say nothing. You act like, dog, you running your mouth, man. And then you talk about all this stuff you done did for Philly. Did you know this? BJ? Embiid has missed just as many games in his career as he has played. He's like he done played like 400 and some odd games or whatever, and done missed like 400 or some odd games. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude is never, like, at least with Ben. That's why, like, with Ben Simmons, sometimes I sit back and I wonder, BJ and Cheyenne, man, I be wondering to myself, I said, who is really the problem? Okay, because last time I checked, Ben Simmons was a 3-time All-Star. Ben Simmons was getting All-NBA. Ben Simmons was a lockdown defender. Ben Simmons, and this is another thing about Ben Simmons, Cheyenne, and BJ. Check this out. First season, Ben Simmons played 81 games. Second season, he played 79 games. Now, of course, he was injured his first, but that second season, Embiid didn't play. It was Ben Simmons. Go look it up. It was 81, 79, and I think he had, well, of course, they had the pandemic and stuff like that. He played like 57 games, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but then of course he started having some issues or whatnot. And so, sometimes I know this is off the subject and everything, but sometimes I look at that and I'm like, Embiid he's played with Harden. Harden didn't want to play there no more. Got Doc Rivers over there. Doc Rivers didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there no more. Got Jimmy over there. Jimmy didn't want to be there no more. So it's like, who is the problem? Like, who is truly the problem? Got Paul George over there. He don't even look. Like, I'm like, what happened to Paul George? What happened to my nigga? What happened to him, man? But yeah, man, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Like I said, make sure y'all go pull up. No pun intended to the homie Pull Up Podcast, BJ over there, man. He goes down over there. LDBC brother. Also, make sure y'all hit the like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire Lions Den basketball boxing community. Till then, I'm out.